every year you add value to the GCF, year after year?
Well, I've been fascinated with the GCF because I think it's a symbol of how the country is changing, and I enjoy the opportunity to be here once a year to sort of feel the changes, and so this year seems like another fine event.
Dr. Boroter, kindly ask you a couple of questions.
Sure.
First, in order to promote the culture of competitiveness amongst youth and amongst the society, do you think that the new media is the best option, and how?
Well, I think that probably all forms of communication are necessary because this is a real cultural change. This has not been a country where kind of competitiveness is part of the mindset. It's not historically part of the discussion, particularly among the Saudi citizens. As you know, there's a very small percentage in the workforce. This is a society where getting a job and working in the private sector has not been the norm. So I think it is going to require a multifaceted communications campaign. I think the traditional media are fine. I think what happens in the schools is very important. What happens with young people when they're getting educated. But I think the social media provide a very immediate and interesting and accessible way for young people to learn about new ideas. So I'm very impressed that you're taking advantage of the new media.
Another question is, in order for youth to be competitive, youth in specific, what would you like to advise them?
Yeah.
And what are the means of
Well, what does being competitive mean? In one word, it means being productive. It means being able to generate a lot of good work because, first of all, you work hard. But secondly, because you have skill. And because you're willing to take chances, take risk. You're willing to look in the long term. You're willing to make an investment to build something in yourself or in a company or with your colleagues. It's a mindset that you can always do things better, you can always learn more, you can always get better educated, you can always, and you can build a business maybe, and actually create some wealth. I think this is the competitiveness mindset.
Is it possible to witness competitiveness in the new media?
Well, the new media, I think, allows lots of different pictures of the world and what's going on in the world in a very immediate and very visible way. So I think as young people share their experiences and they exchange their lives and their information, I think it can really accelerate the learning about competitiveness. But again, there's a cultural change at the heart of this. And I was just speaking with the Minister of Labor, and one of the chronic issues facing this country is how to get more Saudis into the private sector. And part of the problem is that Saudis have not necessarily thought about the private sector as someplace they really are excited to be. And so we've got to show that working in the private sector is the most fun of all because it's flexible. Government is a bureaucracy, and you have to follow the rules. In private sector, you can do anything. You can be creative. You can stretch your mind. You can work with your friends, and you can build something. So we have to create that alternative. And I think the more you can show working in the private sector tangibly, in a real way to young people, I think the more excited they'll be.
So it's through spreading or promoting the culture of the benefits or advantages of working in the private sector
and the fun, and the satisfaction. Whereas again, I find most people, working in government, they go to work every day, but it's not exciting, and they may not have a real job, and they might not be that important to whether the organization succeeds or fails. But I think what we have to help young Saudis understand is that it's really much more exciting to be the